How's it going, everybody? Xander Fryer here with Shit You Don't Learn in College, and today we're going to talk about the 5 characteristics that set entrepreneurs apart from everybody else. Now, I hate to break it to you, not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur. I know that that's a little bit of an unpopular statement, but it's the truth. See, entrepreneurs are wired differently. They think differently, they believe differently, they act differently, they behave differently. They are a different type of person. That's why right now only 4% of the population is actually entrepreneurs, right? If everybody could do it, we'd have a lot more of them. Now, this doesn't mean that not anybody can be an entrepreneur. In my opinion, anybody can become an entrepreneur, but you need to understand the differences between an entrepreneur and normal people. I learned this very quickly when I first quit my job in the corporate world at Cisco Systems to pursue entrepreneurship, because a lot of what helped me be successful in the 9-to-5 world did not translate as an entrepreneur, and I had to relearn how to think, how to act, how to behave, how to be successful as an entrepreneur. Now, if you follow the growth mindset like Carol Dweck talks about, you can become that person. But in order to do that, I got to share with you the 5 character traits that'll allow you to do it. All right, so number 1 character trait is you need to learn to love to live outside your comfort zone. That's right, you need to learn to love to live outside your comfort zone. If you like being comfy, if you like being safe, if you like the stable route, entrepreneurship is probably not for you. Right? The reality is, for you to have more, you must become more. And for you to become more, you must grow. And in order to grow, you have to put tension, you have to put stress. Think about growing a muscle, think about growing your biceps. You can't sit around on the couch all day and all of a sudden your muscles will just get bigger. No, you have to go put tension, you have to go put stress, you have to get out of your comfort zone, go lift weights. Now, to become an entrepreneur, you have to do this psychologically, physiologically, emotionally. With your leadership capabilities, you're constantly pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, doing the shit that scares you. Entrepreneurs love living outside of their comfort zone. Now, the second character trait of successful entrepreneurs is they play the long game. All right, now I know with social media and everything out there right now, we're all looking at the microwave solutions and the 7 steps to build a 6-figure business, or the 4 ways to make $1 million tomorrow, and all of social media is just portraying these quick wins and the shortcuts and the hacks to get places faster. That's not real. Real entrepreneurs play the long game. I want you to think of Jeff Bezos. If you've ever read The Everything Store, Jeff Bezos talks about how he had the vision for Amazon when he originally started the company back in the early 1990s as The Everything Store, the store that would sell everything online. The reason it was named Amazon was because the Amazon was this big, all-encompassing river that nothing could ever, it was so vast, so much water flowed through this river, nothing could ever compare to it. That's why the company was called Amazon. He had this vision for a company that sold everything online, better, cheaper, and faster than everybody else. Now, it may have taken him several decades to get there. Started out selling books, eventually got into technology, got into the world of music, got in the world of television, got in the world of everything, right? But he started out one step at a time and had this vision for 30 years down the line, dominating the online space. Look what happened. That wasn't a quick win. That wasn't an overnight success. That was somebody playing with the long term in mind. One of my first mentors that I ever had told me, Xander, the more successful you want to become, the longer into the future you have to plan and act. If you start planning 1 year into the future, you'll make 6 figures. You start planning 3 to 5 years into the future, you might make 7. You start planning 10 to 20 years into the future, you're going to make 8, 9 figures. It's the people that can plan and make decisions now, the short-term investments now, for the long-term gain down the line, that they're going to be the most successful. The third character trait that you need to understand for entrepreneurs is they are willing to work hard. Now, I know we see a lot of the highlight reels on social media of people sipping Mai Tais on the beach and the easy life, flying around jets, taking long vacations, traveling the world, but we don't see the behind the scenes. We don't see the work that goes into actually making that life. The reality is entrepreneurs are not afraid to put in the work. I want you to think about this, okay? Your 9-to-5 is like standing on stable ground. Your 9 to 5 is like standing on stable ground. It's safe, it's stable. It's also pretty boring, gets a little monotonous. Entrepreneurship is like standing on a boat in the middle of the ocean. Now, I don't know about you, but the first time that you were ever on a boat in the middle of the ocean, or if you haven't been, I'll tell you what it's like. What was it like? Maybe a little bit wobbly, maybe a little bit nauseating, maybe made you a little bit sick, a little bit unnerving, right? It feels really weird. You got to do a lot of work to keep yourself stable. But what happens when you're on that boat for, say, a couple of days, 4 days, 5 days, a week? You start to get your sea legs about you. You start to be able to handle the waves. Then you start to be able to handle the bigger waves. Normally you got to do a lot of work to handle those waves, but if you've been in that boat or on that boat for long enough, the work starts to become the norm. This is what entrepreneurs do. They're not afraid to do the work until the work becomes norm and it becomes easy for them. That's what you got to do as an entrepreneur. Number 4 is that entrepreneurs are problem solvers. In the mind of an entrepreneur, there is no such thing as something that cannot be solved. In the mind of an entrepreneur, the words, I don't know, do not exist. It's I don't know, but I'm gonna go figure it out. I don't know, but watch me go make it happen. That's what it is in the eyes of an entrepreneur. Everything is figure-outable. There isn't something that can't be figured out. And this is a huge mental shift for a lot of people because most of us in 9-to-5s, we can use the I don't know as an excuse to not even try, right? One of my favorite quotes from Arnold Schwarzenegger, he says, you can either make excuses or you can get results. You can't have both. So, as an entrepreneur, everything's figure-outable. Everything's just a problem to be solved, and every problem does have a solution. Some might be harder to solve than others, but every problem has a solution. And the last character trait of every entrepreneur is, frankly, they know how to sell, right? Now, sales is a dirty word to a lot of people, but the reality is sales is not a good or a bad thing. Sales is just a tool. Sales is just a tool that can be used by good people for good things and bad people for bad things. Now, think about this. As an entrepreneur, if your goods or services bring value to the world and help people, wouldn't you be morally obligated to sell more of it? I'd think so, right? Sales is an important part of our society. Sales is influence, and influence is used everywhere in our lives. Have you ever tried to get your kids to do something, maybe brush their teeth on time, maybe get into bed on time, maybe eat their vegetables? That's sales, that's influence. When you found your life partner, or you're working on finding your life partner, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, you have to sell them on wanting to go on a date with you. You have to sell them on being in a relationship with you, and you have to sell them on staying in a relationship with you forever. That's sales, right? Sales and influence is an incredibly important part of our life. Entrepreneurs are just better at doing it than most of us, because the reality is if you cannot sell your product, your service to your clients, you can't sell your vision of your company to potential team members, you're never gonna grow and you're never gonna get anywhere. So you gotta be great at sales. In the end, being an entrepreneur requires you to think differently, behave differently, and act differently. And that means you need to train your brain to be different. This is the reason that I wrote the book Shit You Don't Learn in College, which you can check out on Amazon or at sydlicbook.com, SYDLIC book.com, because these are the things that we are not taught. Us normal people that go through life, go get a degree and go into a 9-to-5, these are the character traits that we are not taught when we're going through college. But if we want to be successful, these 5 character traits are going to be absolutely paramount. So start retraining your brain today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button and let me know that you did. If you have anything specific that you want me to cover in the future, go ahead and comment below and let me know. And do not forget to subscribe to this channel so you never miss another great video. I'll see you in there.